Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So, Dragon Fist Super Saiyan 3 Goku and the Hirudegarn Dokkan events were officially announced or teased last night, new stages. And Goresh was very eager to know, is this coming to Global? So, I figured I would make a video kind of going over, I guess what I believe the schedule for Global to be over the next, I guess 4 months. This video should essentially, well, basically, we could probably even guesstimate all the way until anniversary, honestly. It should be pretty static with how Global has done things in years past. The only way I think things could differentiate from what I'm about to go through would be if maybe the sync would happen earlier than we anticipate. Because right now, I would think, we'll see what happens, at Worldwide Download Celebration. I would say that there's at least a decent chance that they maybe could give us concrete info by the Worldwide Download Celebration. That is my hope. I know a lot of people would want it even sooner, but, again, this community, no one has ever been known here for patience, but, that's unfortunately what it's going to take, right? I still like that they told us that the sync is coming, so at least we can, kind of prepare accordingly for that, right? So, let's kind of go through what's going to happen. I expect in a couple of days, Super Trunks will be announced on Global. Typically, this character drops within the first couple of days in January for Global Dokkan, and Super Trunks should drop. This guy is just not really worth it. People are adamant that this guy can work effectively in Omega, and I've definitely done it a few times as well, but I just really don't see much of a purpose. I find this guy to be very... there's just numerous flaws, right? Between needing the bunch of Android Cell Saga characters to only then just having a high chance to guard, to having these really restrictive HP conditions, not really there, which is so much of a problem, but I never see anyone talk about the fact that if you just happen to not be above 60% HP when this guy comes out, he is not as crazy as you'd want him to be, because what you want is that active skill. You pop this guy's active skill, and it's a Ghost Usher, it's huge damage, he's doing guaranteed crits. Super Trunks is still really good for the first 2 turns, even without the active skill, but typically, the team, if you're using his team, you will lose if you can't get the active skill. If you're on LR Future Gohan's team, certainly you could survive without the Ghost Usher, and this guy will just be strong, but this is not the type of character that I typically recommend players summon on. You want to summon for characters with really good leader skills. This guy's leader skill is absolutely god-awful. And then you want to summon on a banner with multiple major, leader-type characters, strong Dokkan Fest exclusive characters. So Super Trunks, he is unfortunately just mid. Then this Gohan may be the worst. It's tough. This guy might be the worst summonable unit of the year. Ice and Nova, damn, I really want to say them, but, we could get a little bit of play out of them on GT bosses, I suppose. This guy is just dog shit. I don't even really want to spend too much time talking about him. He's just so bad. He's one of these horrible characters that needs to get hit to get defense, which is just, this is an abysmal mechanic. They should retire that shit to hell permanently. Having to get defense by being hit is just terrible. It's just awful. I don't know why this guy doesn't give attack support. I don't know why he doesn't get defense right here. I don't know why he's not guarding with damage reduction or dodging with better support. I don't know. They just threw this guy out there and wanted him to be bad, and he does fulfill that role. The EZA for the Trunks celebration, again, this should follow suit. Sometime at the start of January, is this guy. You'll see people say that this guy is not really that bad, and that's full-on bullshit. This guy does become decent, I think, once you get into Super Saiyan God form. So that's turn 1, turn 3, turn 5, turn 7. Again, do I need to continue on very much further beyond that? This guy is absolute dog shit. He is not good enough for Red Zone Cell Max. I'm sorry, man. If you get to turn 9, turn 11, yeah, dude, this guy is nuts. Well, it's turn 7, turn 9. Blue Vegeta is quite powerful, right? He'll full heal you with this. He could do guaranteed crits, huge damage, and stuff like that. But, guess what? A character who becomes good on turn 7, yeah, stop. We're not coping for that. So that should be the start of January, right? What happens, here, that like kind of like this was the end of July, start of August for JP. Then after that should move into Omega. I suppose it's conceivable that maybe Gohan and Piccolo be at the start of January, or 17 and 18. The thing about Gohan and Piccolo, I suspect they'll be at the start of March. Their celebration is very, very small with almost nothing, and it always is like tailor-made to fit perfectly right before Saiyan Day, right? Like that JP Halloween celebration, kind of like these years lately has been pretty bad. And then that's where Global can kind of like fit in that character right before Saiyan Day. So I expect that'll remain true. And the main reason I think it'll be Super Trunks here in January as opposed to 17 and 18 is because 17 and 18 have a Part 2 LR, which is Ribrian. I do not see them pushing Omega a month further into February for virtually no reason whatsoever. So I would expect it will go Super Trunks and then Omega at the end of January. As a Tanabata LR, this would be the third time the Tanabata LR for Global has moved into January as well, so there's a precedent for this. Janemba and Jiren were both releases that came out in January. So if we take a look at this guy, he's just complete dog shit. You should not spend even 1 millisecond thinking about this guy. He has great animations. He actually is quite good. Like, he's quite powerful, but it's like, he's good at the cost of running GT bosses, which is not a real team, right? It's like Kale, but like 80 times worse, right? Like Kale becomes really, really good, but I mean, even running one of the Universe 6 option, I mean, Universe 6 characters are essentially Cybermen, right? Like, you're not getting very much value out of Universe 6 characters right now. And then, unfortunately, poor Omega, I mean, he's in an even worse spot. Cool character, good animations and fun and stuff like that, but, I mean, he's just completely worthless. Now, he will come with an assortment of content, actually. So, Omega drops, along with the burst mode for Omega's Dokkan event. We get the Shadow Dragon stage. This is the fight against Omega. And we get 2 EZAs, the Cell, Goku, and Frieza, and then LR Super Baby 2. Now, the Cell, Goku, and Frieza are just, like, very mediocre, kind of like sub-EZA characters. Nothing really too exceptional there. I do kind of like Baby. Baby has a lot of, he's like a really, slot 2 character. He'll struggle for AoEs against AoEs in a lot of these big fights. But the thing about this Baby is that he fulfills a need, which is like a decent Big Bad Boss's character on all these teams. Look at the categories Baby is on. A Dokkan Fest Baby would hit so hard. But like a Dokkan Fest Baby that's like mid-junior level, not, a Dokkan Fest Baby that's like Super Trunks level. So like like a really massively powerful character just injected to all these teams would be really good. But this guy has crazy values, the Great Ape. Right? Like it's Great Apes just cancel rage, or they cancel boss super attacks, boss healing, boss AoEs, all that nonsense. So Baby is a nice EZA. Again, this guy, along with Omega, the Omega boss fight, and those sub EZAs should all come out at the end/middle of January. Now next, February. I mean, this is potentially, despite the fact that Global has, been behind on Anniversary its entire existence, I could just tell that it's just going to be very unfun around the game, because it's like, we're going to get 17 and 18 who, I don't really think are that great. I think they were designed poorly. I think their team is bad. Like, just a lot of negatives about this character. They're not hype. I mean, it's 17, 18. I think that they're a fun little quirky unit, but I mean, it's fine when it would be a fun little quirky unit that would come to both versions at the same time. But this is going to be a character who's probably going to be opposite JP getting LR Beast Gohan or some shit like that. And I just think that it's going to be just so unfun in the community. Like, it's just going to suck, I think. And it's like, there was a simple solution for that. You guys know what it is? I think you all do. We could have just done Anniversary at the same time. Listen, I'm in favor of that. I would rather they've done that, but unfortunately that's not the path they chose to take or whatever. We'll see when this thing is going to come up, but yeah, so this character should drop at the start of October. This is their banner unit, kind of like just a middling character, nothing special. I don't think that they're the worst ever, but I mean, considering how badly 17 and 18 needed help, and by the way, they're just a pitifully designed character, by the way. These 17 and 18 characters, all of them, all of them want to be run together. The 17s want to be run with the 18s want to be run, 17s want to be run with 18s want to be run with 17s. Right? It's how these characters work. And they decided it would be hilarious, absolutely just effing hilarious, if they said, what if we made it to where you need Goku, who shares basically nothing with them. All right, so yeah, that's good. I mean, yeah, you could go, turtle power and shocking speed, except really, they need Android Assault, so I don't know. They're really smart. Yeah, they suck. And then there's them. Again, they just aren't what that character needs. Like, you can't even, you can't even find a spot to run them. Like, you need to fill the team up with Gokus. Gokus and androids is what you need to fill that team up with. And then it's like, this character, I don't know what they were thinking. Why not make this unit insanely like, how many people knew that? I didn't know their names, right? Like, I gotta be one of the bigger Dragon Ball fans that plays Dokkan. I would have said, maybe. I mean, I probably, because I love OG Dragon Ball, whereas a lot of Dokkan fans seem like they don't love OG Dragon Ball, right? But I don't know. I didn't even know their names, man. Like, this is not a character that you drop, and then it's like, they're okay. And then, oh, by the way, we could say the same thing with them right here, LR Ribrian. It's the same shit. Like, you can't drop this character and it's like they're okay-ish, I guess. Like, no, that's not what you do. And then Jiren outright sucks. EZAs in 2023 have been the best they've ever been by far. But there have been a few major L's. Transforming Vegeta, Jiren, as well as Int Goku Black, all suck ass. Jiren is actually probably the worst of them. Yeah, I think Jiren is probably the worst, actually. Transforming Vegeta, at the very least, it's like he becomes really good once you get to like turn 9. And it's like there's very few places you could do that, but like, I mean, you could do that against Omega. Like in a real tough fight, Transforming Vegeta can like put the team on his back and do really good. Jiren cannot. Jiren just sucks. Yeah, Jiren has got to be worse. Even Int Goku Black. Int Goku Black can do some stuff against the Omega fight because he could stack up so much. What does Jiren do? Nothing. The answer is he does nothing. He sucks. He's terrible. Awful character. Yeah, and then Ribrian, Rosie, and Kakunsa. The problem is just how pathetic this team is. Tournament participants. It's just so unfun. It's not fun to just load into death nonstop in every single fight, right? Like, the team sucks, the characters suck, right? You're running 23rd World Tournament Goku, who's massively nerfed when there's not a revive character on the team. It's just terrible. This LR Ribrian can be really impactful if you could pop this. If there's a Power Wishes ally in the rotation, and you have that, you don't have a turn restriction on their active skill. It's only HP. So you could have LR Ribrian turn 2. You could have Ribrian go Giant, cancel Zamasu's AoE, right? And then, you could, like, I've done it. Like, I ran LR Ribrian against Fusion Zamasu on Power of Wishes, and it was a real meme-ass team, right? I was using, like, Broly, Chi-Lai, and Lemo, just a bunch of goofballs. And it's like, it did work, but, like, how consistently is that going to work? The answer is not that consistently. You need, needing perfect, like, loading into the fight where it's like perfect RNG or we instantly lose. I mean, that's not, yeah, sorry. No. So, yeah, she sucks. Ribrian, and then, February is going to be tough. I thought that this was, well, I mean, was that actually the worst month of the year? October? I think it probably was. Yeah. It was bad, dude. It was bad. I guess technically he came out in October. Okay, I mean, he's good. But he's already on Global. I mean, there's a bunch of other free-to-play characters. Sure. Like, the 18 is solid. Broly and Trunks, I've got them pulled up right here. I expect Broly and Trunks' SSR. I could see them come out with Super Trunks. Potentially the TUR come out sometime in February, around 17-18. And then I think Broly and Trunks probably in March with Gohan and Piccolo or whatever Saiyan Day is. That's when I could see Global getting this, by the way. The Broly and Trunks. They're not the best ever, but I think for a quest mode free-to-play LR, they could do some stuff and they could be fun. I was able to work a lot of tough fights with them. So like they could do fine. But like, let's look. Yeah, October just sucks. I mean, Boda Magetta, they're decent, but the rest of them are just fodder. Yeah, Ribrianne, you suck. Pilaf, sure, but I mean, global world tournaments are going to be scattered all over the place, and this is multiple world tournaments away because for some reason they made JP 4 world tournaments ahead of JP has had 3 world tournaments since Global's had a world tournament. Like, make it make sense. Like, I don't know. This stuff is already on global, of course, and then we get to these two. I mean, to be fair, I do like this unit quite a bit, and every day that passes, I do feel like I become a little bit more favorable towards Gohan and Piccolo. If you could just really kind of maneuver away from their brutal weakness and base, like, they could put in a lot of work. They really can. But yeah, damn, October, dude. October is the worst month. Maybe was it June? June had so much content. That's the thing that was crazy. This guy sucks. We did have Super Saiyan 4 Goku in June, though, which was really fire. Man, I don't know. May was good. I mean, we had a lot of good stuff in May, April. March did have God Goku. Lot of stuff in March. Yeah, I would probably lean towards October being the worst month. It's just that 17-18 shit was brutal, dude. I just hate them, Jiren, Ribrianne. I do. All right, so Gohan and Piccolo. Again, the thing with them, if this character could be run in slot 3, they would be so uber broken. Like, they would actually be a character that's as good as some of the other top TRs, Vegito, Jr., God Goku, 23-year-old Tournament Goku. I do not think that this character is on that level, but if you were able to get this consistently, they could be. This is very strong multi-turn support, as you guys could see. But the problem is that this character, they are a feather, unless they have this damage reduction up right here. The problem with this, though, is that it deactivates mid-turn. So, I believe if they get hit in slot 1 or 2, and their damage reduction is above 70%, and that knocks them under, like, the damage reduction is, like, it's still up. As long as they get hit when HP is above 70%, it'll be up. Or if they attack when HP is 70% or above, it'll be up. But let's say you load into an event, you have, I don't know, LR Bulma slot 1, she takes a super, knocks you below 70%, then they get hit, damage reduction's not up. Like, you're cooked, you're dead meat, right? Like, it is a very iffy. But what's so strong about them is their revive. Like, just like the 8th anniversary GT Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta character, massively underrated by the community. Like, you have this character or that character turn 2, and they just revive. Like, that shit, it feels borderline essential in some of these Dismal Future Red Zone fights. That's just like, because, again, you're not typically going to just load into perfect RNG, right? Like, it's not, you have 5 attempts per day. You're not just sitting there, all right, let's just reset hundreds of times until we have a perfect rotation. You have 5 attempts per day. You get in, and, we're going. So, it's like having this, again, this character, the 8th anniversary LR, with those quick revives that don't have turn restrictions, only HP restrictions, it can be very strong, man. It's very good. So that's what really makes this character very valuable. A lot of the other stuff they do in base doesn't even really matter. It's just that revive. And then, of course, Kid Gohan is very explosive. Like, no issues with Kid Gohan. You do have to have a Goku on the team, so it does make their own team, I think, suck. I think their team is terrible because you have two of this character is god-awful. One, though, can be very incredibly impactful because they're not good in base, right? So if you're bringing them as a leader, you're stuck with a second of them in base. GG. And then Kid Gohan. Oh, the other thing is that the Gokus on this team are so ridiculously weak. And then this Kid Gohan, he's only really mega crazy as long as you have Goku on the team, right? Where, his first turn out, he guaranteed dodges, and then he has 50% chance to dodge after that. And I do anticipate that this character should come at the start of March. Along with the Vegeta and Nappa, who I did not pull up. We should talk about the Vegeta and Nappa. I actually kind of like them. I think that they're a rather solid character, this Vegeta and Nappa. One thing they do that I really like, that, like, Ultimate Gohan doesn't do, a lot of characters don't do, is that this character, yeah, here we go. They build up, not by supering, but just by attacking. So this is a character that has an additional, with a 70% chance to be a super. If you fail that and get an additional normal, guess what? You're still building up. That's a huge issue with Gohan, right? Is that Gohan needs to build up by doing supers, and then you super, and then normal. And, you know, I did my video, I dropped it, hour-long video of me failing the 70%. Literally, I am telling the truth. This hour and 30-minute long video I dropped 2 days ago, I believe it was 58 minutes in, I believe, where we get the first 70% proc to work correctly. Is that correct? Is he here on rotation at 58 minutes in here? No, he's not. It must be the turn before. It must have been the turn before. It must be 57 minutes in. This is, I believe, the first... Oh, let's watch. Let's watch. I believe this was the first time I got him doing 2 supers. All right, so right here. So here, that's the... Hold on. No, dude. God damn it. All right, let's see. So Gohan comes out with that 18 key, which Omega dodges, doesn't matter though. And then there we go, the 70%. I believe this is the first time it procs. We do all these runs, all this footage beforehand. Didn't even proc once. I think we did 5 runs against Fusion Zamasu and a run against Omega. Yep. And it didn't proc even once. So, it's nice that this character, that can be happening constantly, and you'll still be building up. Right, which I like. And then this character's also, they got damage reduction, they got guard. Like, this is a character that could definitely do some things. I don't find their restrictions and stuff to be ridiculously cumbersome. Like, I find them to be a solid character. They'll be useful, potentially, as other villain characters come out. I mean, if Dokkan would ever drop villains, right? Dokkan, starting with July, we got LR Omega, Part 2. And then in August, we got LR Fusion Zamasu Part 1, and then we've had no villains since. Yep, that's true. Premium units, none. 0. They gave us LR Omega, LR Fusion Zamasu, and we're good. That's it. They said, nah, you're good. You're good. You got me Junior. What else do you need? Yeah, villains are great. You don't need nothing. So, there you go. And then, they, with Gohan and Piccolo, they should come at the start of March. And then I would assume they're in March. So, again, in summary, recapping, Super Trunks, start of January. Should be Omega at the middle of January, end of January. 17, 18 should be at the start of February. El Ribrian should be in the middle of February. And then we should move into Gohan and Piccolo at the start of March. Kind of a brutal lineup in that not super hype. Right, like, these are, like, very, like, not... These are not characters that are going to push the needle, which is the problem, right? So, and then they, by the way, so, start of March, Gohan and Piccolo. March 18th will be Saiyan Day. It'll be shared on both versions. You know, Angel Super Saiyan 3 Goku, or... Super Saiyan Vegeta from the Android 19 fight. That would be a great one. They could do that. That will be shared, Global and JP. Then Global should get Dragon Fist and Hirudegarn at the start of April. Then at the end of April should be Golden Week, Dual Dokkan Fest, which Global and JP should have. They'd have the Part 2 LR in May. And then June typically is the first Dokkan Fest that JP gets after Anniversary. That typically is what June is going to be for Global. So that would be, typically it's a lower hype character, right? I'm thinking something like Lord Slug, Tapion, Deborah, Tien, Krillin, like one of those types of like a character like that probably would be the March Dokkan Fest for JP and the June Dokkan Fest for Global. But then that still kind of keeps us in the status quo. Like at some point we need to start making moves towards getting this global sync. I don't know if they want to start shaving a week off of celebrations. I mean, are they really just like, it's like, okay, like we're months behind. Oh, it's August. Guess what? We actually have a banner coming out with like 50 Dokkan Fest and LRs and stuff like that on it. Like, I don't know. I mean, I would really like now that we're about to get into Anniversary and stuff like that, I just would really like some sort of concrete info, I think, by the Worldwide Download Celebration on the sync. I know a lot of people would hear that and they scoff, oh my god, but like, dude, like, you announced it, Obviously, it takes time to do whatever it is I need to do, but like, let's give us some info too, like some concrete info. I think like after a year or like once we start approaching many months, I think it's reasonable that they would begin to have a time frame in mind. Like I talked about it with Nano, and it's like damn dog, it kind of seems like they're chilling at Akatsuki, right? In like July last year or something. And Amatsu's just throwing shit at the dartboard, and he says, like, dude, like, what if we just catch the game up, right? We probably make more money. And they're like, oh, yeah, no, we never thought of that. 50 years in the game, we never even considered that a possibility. They're like, oh my God, we got it, yeah. And then Amatsu turns his ass on stage 2 weeks later, and it's like, oh yeah, guys, we're catching the game up. But like that's like it seems to me like they came up with the idea, and then they just came out like, hey, we're doing it. Right, and then it's like they got done recording that, telling people, and now they're sitting down like, okay, so how are we actually gonna do this? Like they told us before they knew what they were gonna do. So we'll see. Let me know what you guys think of the global schedule upcoming, and I'll catch you guys next time.